Hi, it's Erica, and welcome to Vacation Prep. We leave for Iceland in about 6 days. Now, we're doing 3 days in Reykjavik, which is the capital of Iceland, before we board a Viking cruise for a 7-day cruise around Iceland. So we're super excited, but there has been a lot of preparation and packing, a lot of lists, a lot of planning, and finally it's all coming together. So this is sort of the miscellaneous, the bags, the toiletries, and the medications that we're taking, and then we're going to do clothing in a separate video. So to start out, this is the bag I am taking as my day bag, as my excursion bag while we are in Iceland. It's from Adidas. I got it from TJ Maxx. I really like it because it's incredibly lightweight. It's got a whole bunch of little pockets in here, zippered sections, and it fits this 20-ounce water bottle perfectly. No need for bottled water in Iceland. It has some of the cleanest drinking water in the world. I did buy this obnoxious color. If you like it, good for you. I think it's a little bit obnoxious because I did not want to lose it. I wanted to make sure that I could always find it and I could always grab it. So it is a very, very bright color. So this is the perfect size for all of our essentials kind of while we're out and about. Now, the second bag I am taking is this Coach crossbody black bag. We're going to be doing some things in Iceland in the evening when we're in Reykjavik. We're on a cruise, so sure in the evening I will not want to be taking around my go-to bag. This is honestly something my college roommate gave me probably 20 years ago. Has been on a million trips with me. I love it. So I will be taking this as well. Staying in bags for a second, I also have these two little foldable grocery bags. Iceland, like many countries in Europe, no longer gives you bags when you purchase something. We used these in England last year when we were there for about 3 weeks. I kept one in my purse, Greg kept one in his pocket. Perfect for those purchases you make on the go. Since we are going to be doing some geothermal visits, we can also use these for bathing suits or whatever. So very handy. I bought some drawer organizers on Amazon a little while ago because I needed them. And in the package was a couple of these. These are incredibly small. They fold up like this to nothing. They're weigh absolutely nothing. They're so lightweight. I just thought this was the perfect thing to keep in our cruise cabin for lanyards, key cards, sunglasses, things that so easily get scattered all over your cabin. If you've been on a cruise, you know what I'm talking about. And this is a way to just corral them for us. And again, lightweight and cheap. If I leave it there, no big deal. So those are bags. I did want to go through sort of the toiletries that we are taking. Now, medications. This might seem like a huge amount of medications for 2 people. I'll explain some of the things that are in here and why we're taking so much. As you probably know, European countries have different rules about what you can buy over the counter than we do here in the US. So if there's something specific that you like or that you want, it's a great idea to take at least a few doses of it with you until you can get to a pharmacy, because they might have different rules about how you can buy it and where you can buy it. Very unlikely to have the kinds of CVS that we do where you can buy a grill and some pool noodles and cold medicine all at the same place. So here's some things that I have in here. I do have sunscreen. Iceland is often rainy, but it does get sunny. So you do want to make sure that you have that sunscreen with you when you're in Iceland. I found this, which I'm really excited about. It's a little Dentec advanced repair kit. And Greg has had a couple of crowns, and occasionally, not often, but occasionally, that has been problematic. And I thought, why not get this little repair kit just in case something happens, and we'll be a little bit reassured that we have something. This Travelon laundry soap sheets, these were absolutely an MVP for our trip to the UK last year. Perfect for doing a little bit of sink laundry. If you just have a couple of things that you want to wash out, this is the perfect thing to have with you. So I still have plenty left over from last year, so no worries there. tummy medication. This is one of the things that is hard to find in Europe. Bismuth, as far as I know, is not actually allowed to be sold there. So definitely some tummy meds there. I have some Halls, just some little throat lozenges there. I do have some mineral bath soaks. These are basically Epsom salts. So if you have a cut maybe that needs to be soaked, or something else that needs to be soaked, this can be a great little packet to have with you. I have some seasickness medication just in case the cruise doesn't agree with us all the time. I have some antibiotic ointment and some Oragel. Again, you don't want to be stuck with a toothache while you're overseas. And again, just some cold medicine in the blister packs. I just have some Alka-Seltzer, some Advil Cold in the blister packs, as well as some Tylenol. And I think that's pretty much it for in here. Oh, another little weird thing I do, maybe you do it too, a salt gargle for a sore throat has saved us more than once. So I have a couple of teaspoons of salt that I just have in these little medication packets, and I did write on it what it is, so nobody thinks it's something else. You might be saying, hey, you don't have any, what if you get a headache? If do you want some Advil or something like that if you have a headache? So I actually am a chronic migraine sufferer, so my pain medication for my headaches is a whole complete other thing that is mostly prescription. So, and Greg hardly ever gets headaches, so we might throw a couple Advil in there, but other than that, that's what we have in our medication kit. All right, moving along, let's talk about wipes. I have makeup remover wipes. This is a huge packet, but I'm sure I will get through all of it. I also have wet ones. This will go in my personal item on the plane so that I can kind of wipe down everything, as well as anything else that just looks gross and I want to wipe it down. I will have some wet ones on me. And also, I never travel without Huggies baby wipes. Why? Well, because you can use them for everything. We do a lot of national and state parks, and if they are out of toilet paper in a pinch, these can be toilet paper. You can wash your hands with these if you've got something sticky on you. You can wipe down a table or a seat with them as well. So these never stop coming in handy. I will always carry a pack of these with me. I mentioned that we are doing Maryland and then we are doing Iceland. These are very different temperatures. July in Maryland is very different than July in Iceland. So we are actually sharing a carry-on for Maryland, where we will just both have a couple of days of clothes. For that part of the trip, we're leaving it there. My wonderful in-laws are bringing it back to us when we return to Maryland before flying all the way back home to Salt Lake City. Because of that, I kind of have two sets of things. So this is my 311 bag. For the Maryland part of the trip, I just have some shampoo, conditioner, body wash that I purloined from one of our other trips. I have some hand sanitizer. Yes, that's the Bridgerton collection. And then I have these, which I love. I don't know if you've seen these, but these are the Colgate Whisks, and they are little toothbrushes with like the toothpaste already inside of there that you can use. Since we have an overnight flight to Maryland and then we have an overnight flight to Iceland, I wanted to give us at least a shot at maybe being a little bit fresher when we arrive. And I also have a couple of makeup remover wipes in there as well for that same reason. Very, very similar for the Iceland one. I have some body lotion in there. It is a somewhat longer flight. I figure skin might get a little dry, as well as hand sanitizer, some of those whisks, and some makeup removers. So again, very small 311 bags. We're checking a bag on the way to Iceland, so won't need much, but just a little bit to get us through the flight. Now, I am not terribly precious about my skincare routine, and I've actually been using Clinique since I was about 13 years old. So I picked up this little 3-step Clinique box at Ulta using a gift card for my birthday, and it has cleanser, toner, and then moisturizer in here. So this is perfect for the trip in this tiny little box that will be exactly what I need for the trip. Other in miscellaneous, a couple of things. Of course, we have our adapters. Iceland uses C and F. So I actually have an F on the way from Amazon. But these have about 3 plugs, and then they also have USB chargers on them. So with 2 of these each and then an F, hopefully we'll be able to charge everything that we need. And if we leave one somewhere, I'm looking at you, our UK trip, where after 10 hotel stays, I finally left an adapter behind. We will not be in trouble. Another weird Iceland thing I have are these head mosquito nets. What could be more fashion forward than wearing a head mosquito net? They have midges in Iceland, which evidently do not bite, but are incredibly annoying and swarm. And so some of the folks, I was reading some travel advice about people who had visited some of the locations we're going to be in, and they said, if you're there in the summertime, you never know when the midges are going to be out. Be prepared. So these are incredibly light. I think they cost something like $3 a piece. I have one for each of us. If you see videos of us wearing them, you'll know what happened. All right. As for toiletries, my toiletry bag is a little bit heavier than I would love it to be, but it is what it is, and I just have what you would expect. I'm just going to pull out a couple of things. I have conditioner and deodorant and things that you take when you go on vacation. A couple of MVPs, though, I wanted to pull out. One is Poo-Pourri. Team, those cruise ship bathrooms are small, and those cruise ship rooms are small, too. So, you know what? I love my husband. I've been with him for 15 years now. Keep that marriage strong. The other thing I always love to take on a trip is Body Glide. I've been using this since I started running distances. Just Body Glide, it's for everything. If you think you're going to get wet, and I'm talking about like the spray from the waterfalls wet, this is a great thing to put on ahead of time so that you don't get blisters on your feet. If you have anything that might be rubbing or be uncomfortable, this is a great thing to have. Great in warm weather, also great in cold weather. So those are kind of my MVPs in that. Otherwise, I'm hoping that this bag will get significantly lighter as the trip continues. Now, a couple of other things. I love a notebook. I love a travel journal. I always keep a travel journal. These are Hello Kitty ones because I always buy them at Marshall's or TJ Maxx. These are from Marshall's, and most of the ones had Bible verses on them. And if that's your jam, that's great. Wasn't for me, so I got Hello Kitty instead. So I'll be taking one of these with us, as well as 5 books, which is a completely normal amount of books to take on vacation. I do not know why Greg is somewhere rolling his eyes at me right now, because that's normal. I love cozy mysteries. Guys, I've tried a Kindle. It's great. I know people love them. They are not for me. I love a book, and I love these cozy mysteries. I pick them up for anywhere between 10 cents and 50 cents at the library sales, and I just leave them in the take one, leave one bookshelf that they have at most hotels and on most cruise ships. So I am taking 5. Our UK trip last year, I also took 5. I ran out and had to buy 2 more. That's fine. That's normal. It's okay. And then lastly for this section, I think, is this. This is our travel materials folder. Now, I know everything's on our phones these days, and I know everything's electronic. I always feel better when I have a paper copy, especially when I'm going to a country where I might not have constant Wi-Fi access. I might not have a working SIM card and be able to access the internet at all times. So I have all of our travel documents in here. I also take a picture of all of them, put it on my phone, and then put it under an album that is labeled something like details, so that I know that the only thing that's in that album are not the beautiful, picturesque, scenic things that we are seeing, but are things like the number for our hotel if we get lost or cannot find it. So that's sort of that. And then next we'll talk about clothing and packing our personal items as well as the suitcases.